This is Damian McNamara, Global Medical News Network, and I'm at the American Society for Cosmetic Dermatology and Aesthetic Surgery joint meeting along with the American Society for Dermatologic Surgeons in Phoenix, Arizona. And with me is Dr. Susan Weinkle. Dr. Weinkle, I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
Thank you for inviting me.
My question, Dr. Weinkle, is the black box warning with botulinum toxins came up at this session, and there was some controversy over how much should really be disclosed to the patient, how much is necessary that the patient, how much you have to review it in your consent process. Can you kind of address that?
Well, Dr. Goldberg did an outstanding presentation telling us where we are today. And the truth of the matter is, it hasn't been challenged yet. We don't know the bottom line. We do need to make reasonable disclosure. How much do we have to say in the consent form? Do we have to say you could die? Do we actually have to hand the patient the medication warning that we get from the companies who produce these products? I mean, I think we're still sorting all these things out, and it was interesting in surveying the group that was there. It looked like to me that most people aren't actually handing the patient that. And I think time is going to tell. It's going to be a very, very challenging time to see how we really have to balance between not frightening a patient and not bringing up things that happen so infrequently, because many of those warnings really refer to using huge amounts of neuromodulators that we don't ever consider using in the cosmetic venues. So I think that time is going to really play this one out for us.
So what do you do personally in your practice in the meantime?
I sit down with the patient, especially a new patient into my practice that doesn't know me, and I try to explain as carefully as I can, and then I have that patient sign in the chart in their own writing. Actually, it's electronic medical record now, so they sign on the computer.
Okay, very cool.
That they were informed, so that I have it recorded in my chart that they were informed. I try to go over the possibilities and say what's really realistic. I try to tell them somewhat of where this came from, so there's a better understanding of it.
But you definitely tell them there is a black box warning, and
Yes.
this is some of what the FDA is stating, and that
We have to. And when you use one of these neuromodulators anywhere other than the glabella, you're using it off-label. So you have to tell that also.
Thank you, Dr. Weinkle. I appreciate you taking the time. This has been Damian McNamara, Global Medical News Network.